Hey, it's funny. And I wanted to come on here real quick and make a video about this TikTok I saw of this woman, right? Speaking on Nina Simone's comment, if you don't know, on her having 4C hair while being light skinned, right? And how she doesn't fit the standard of what a light skinned woman is expected to look like in the black community, right? And so I'll be playing clips and then giving my commentary in between. And then maybe after the video's finished, I could just go on and things about my first thoughts when I watched the video, right? Because I was gagged. I was thinking, oh my god, this is gonna be a sweet video. It's not, y'all. It's not.
I want to show you guys something. This is my baby sister. Take a look at her gorgeous eyes. Take a look at her skin tone. Okay, now let me tell you something. Give you a little bit of background.
Okay, so right off the bat, right, she instantly goes into speaking about her sister's skin tone and eyes, right? And it's it's almost like she's pulling up her credentials, right? Like on her resume or something, right? And showing why she can speak on this topic and her proximity to someone who has lighter skin than her and eyes,
Give you a little bit of background. We have the same father who is a darker skinned man, but both of our mothers are light skinned. Her mother, on one hand, had the lighter eyes, therefore, she took after her mother's skin tone and her eye color, as well as her 4C hair.
Maybe I'm reaching right, but did anybody see that she smirked after saying 4C? Like, okay, she looks like she might have Bell's palsy, like the thing where one side of your face is more lifted. So that might be why. Correct me if I'm wrong, if she doesn't have it or something like that, right? But if she was smirking with the way she said 4C hair, right? It makes me think that she's kind of relishing in the fact that her sister and her mother, despite having lighter skin than her, right, have 4C hair. But maybe, yeah.
Now, my mother was a light skinned woman who did not have light eyes, but she had a looser hair texture. Therefore, I came out with a actual looser hair texture than my lighter skinned sister. Now, she is a
Okay, so I feel like when she said looser hair texture, right, she sounded optimistic. And, when she said she came out with an actual looser hair texture, right? Almost like she's aware and is calling out women who pretend to have a looser hair texture. Like she's aware of that some women come out and they're like, oh, my hair is naturally, you know, 3C. Like the girl in Blend Girlie's new video about that girl saying that she wished she had 4C hair and really her hair is just damaged. So, and she doesn't have a looser hair texture. Yeah. And I feel like she's using the word actual to emphasize that her hair texture is all natural, no relaxer, no Jerry curl, like we all get accused of, right? Like we all get accused of, right? And she then goes back to comparing her to her sister, her younger sister, and says that her hair is looser than her younger sister's, which is, and it just, I don't know. It feels a bit weird. This is where it starts to get weird. Yeah.
now she is 18 and I am in my 30s. And let me tell you, my sister is one of the most confident young ladies I have ever met because of her mother. Her mother was a hippier type woman who shaved her head, never wore wigs, and never wore makeup, who genuinely loved who she was, loved the people around them, and nurtured her daughter to love herself, love her hair, and to not allow others' expectations to mess up her confidence. Imagine going into school and girls telling you to take out your contacts because they don't believe they're yours because your hair is way too thick. My younger sister wore locks for many years. She combed them out and learned to do her own hair because she wants to be a hairstylist part time or full time. She's still young and figuring her way out in this world. But when I tell you that it starts in the home, it starts with the mothers. The mothers will ruin your confidence. They will tell you that you're not good enough because you don't fit certain standards. Now,
I 100% agree that confidence and, self-esteem and things like that, and everything basically, starts in the home, especially with who your mother is and if she's confident or not. And when you have a mother who isn't confident and therefore doesn't instill confidence in you, will like affect your self-esteem. Because like I can, testify that like that was my experience, and it was hard for me to be confident when my mother was so not, and her bringing, I found it so interesting, right? That she brought up what I assume is her sister going through, people saying take out your contacts and stuff like that, right? Just really ignorant stuff. And so it shows that, she understands the struggles that, the unambiguous black community, right, might downplay, say, oh, well, that wasn't anything, and oh, that never happened, right? So she can see where some of these lighter skinned MLS women are coming from when they say certain things, right?
standards. Not my little sister. She's one of the most confident young ladies I have ever met. She loves herself, her natural hair, her natural beauty. She doesn't try to cover up or hide anything. She appreciates
And so now she's starting the whole like triangulation thing, right? Yeah. So with the whole narrative, oh, that might have been your situation, Nina, but that wasn't my sister's. Your mother didn't build your self-esteem, was a texturist or whatever narrative that she's trying to like push here, right? But my sister, my light-skinned, green-eyed sister, is so confident, unlike you. And then she says that her sister embraces her natural beauty, her natural hair, and doesn't try to cover up anything. Um, I'm sorry, but first of all, how do you even know that? Like, everyone has insecurities, right? And especially with like siblings, you might not always tell your sibling about an insecurity you have, right? And assuming from the way that this woman is like acting, I would I wouldn't be surprised if her sister may have had an insecurity, right? Or has insecurities right now that she has. Yeah. And just doesn't say anything to her about it because she'll go into a whole spiel, because she seems like one of those people, right? And going further into this video, right? After like my little talk, like she just seems like this person who is going to give you a lecture and say, well, you should be grateful for this and that and stuff like that, especially with her sister's phenotype. I feel like she would be really like hard on her, despite in a way empathizing with her and with her experience at school, but at the same time, yeah.
she appreciates what her mother has given her, and her
So are
mother
you like trying to say, I feel like, is she trying to say that Nina doesn't, like, that she doesn't appreciate what her mother gave her and is ungrateful or something? Also, why is she acting as if like you cannot like something about yourself, like your hair or something, and because you don't like your hair, you're not grateful to your mother or something like that? Like, this is a things. Why is their mindset so extreme? Like, this is why when women who are like very light skin, right, say, oh, I like my skin, it's always this reaction of, oh, well, that means you're colorist. No, somebody liking their skin, somebody liking their hair or not liking their hair doesn't mean that they don't like you or something like that. Like, weird. Like, it's giving you're trying to start an issue between Nina and her mother. Mm, which is like real messy. That's so messy of you, right? And just so many assumptions about a stranger, like you could say that I'm making assumptions, but like It's my job. You know? Like, I'm all for going after parents that fail their children, but she's just so condescending. Like, she's not on Nina's side. She's not on Nina's mother's side, right? But is seemingly on her sister's side, which I think she's pretending to be, right? Despite what I'm seeing as an older sister, like fetishizing her younger sister. Like it's giving that to me. But yeah.
Her, and her mother is one of the realest, lighter skinned women I have ever met.
Notice how she had to say realist, lighter skinned woman, right? As if, that's impossible. A lighter skinned woman who's not fake? What do you mean, right? Are most like as if most lighter skinned women are fake. Like this is what I mean. It's giving hater. It's giving weird. It's giving you have like this internalized thing about light skinned women. Yeah. Also, I forgot to mention, like, why is she speaking as if light skinned women are a different species? This is a thing that starts to get weird, where it's like the way the languages and the way they talk about um very light skinned women is very weird to me. And like it's almost like she's not including herself in the category and exactly because like she said she's brown instead of light skin, right? But ma'am, you're not too far off, you know, from what a lot majority of people would say is light skin, right? And you're going this hard, meanwhile there's somebody out there who's probably going to throw you out of blackness or try and discredit what you're saying because you're lighter than them or something like that, right? And it's like, do you not understand that you're saying, in a way, regardless whether she sees herself as light skin or not, that you're like fake? Like you're basically saying, like, you know,
Because even though my little sister, who is lighter than most of us in the family, has tougher hair than most of us as
mm,
well,
yep. And she had to point out. Notice how she had to point out. She's the lightest one in the family. She's lighter in the family, right? I get it. She's making a point, but at the same time, it's like, you say certain things that you want people to hear, right? And then she juxtaposes it, right, with saying that her sister's hair is tougher than most of, of the people in her family, right? The language of using tougher to describe 4C hair is interesting, right? To me, I feel like this woman is a texturist. I think I, let me just play the rest of the clip. Y'all will see what I
than most
mean.
of us as well. She never allowed her to go out here and allow other people to project on her to ruin her confidence. It starts
Again, how does she know? How does she know that? She said her sister locked her hair for a few years. And I've heard a lot of women with 4C hair, right? Or just type 4 textured hair, right? Say they lock their hair, right? Because they didn't like it and it's more manageable, right? In locks. Like I literally heard a friend who had like 4C hair, right? Another like our mutual friend told her, "Oh, you should lock your hair, right? Because it's like better that way." This is what I mean by the lies that we're just assuming, "Oh, she did it, because she's so confident and things like that." No, people have insecurities, right? Lighter skinned women who have coarser textured hair may also lock their hair because it's in their eyes better than having just loose, coarser hair. Like I've heard so many people say stuff like that, right? And honestly, I want the sister to talk. Why are you talking for your sister? I want the sister to talk, right? It feels weird. It would make more sense if the sister said, "Oh, I have frizzy hair as well. It's hard, but we should love ourselves and stuff like that." Why are you speaking on her behalf? Why are you using her as, this? thing in your narrative to push your narrative. It's weird.
But it starts in the home. So this whole conversation with Miss Nina Simone, I believe her name is, where she said that
So
she
you don't know her name because you had to remind yourself. Somebody who knows the person they're talking about, right, wouldn't have to remind them. Like, I understand there's a singer, Nina Simone, right? But I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching, but shady. And so you don't know her name, but you made a nearly 3-minute video attempting to put her down because you were so upset. You saw the video, you were so upset. How dare this light skinned woman? How dare she? Oh
where
God.
she said that she feels some type of way because her hair isn't as loose, and I'm sure she cannot stand to see a browner skinned girl with a better hair texture than her. Breaking
Oh,
news.
y'all, y'all. When I initially watched this, right, I thought she said looser hair texture than Nina Simone, right? Baby, she just went full throttle and she said, no, my hair texture's better because it's looser. You see? You see this Hawaiian steak? It's so cute. This woman is a texturist. You see what I said? I told y'all.
Niggas, I told y'all niggas. Y'all thought I was playing, but I told y'all.
She is quite literally a texturist and is leveraging her hair texture to to humble Nina Simone, to put her, in her place. Oh, you're light skinned, but you have that puff hair. How how rude. How disgusting. You know?
I'm sure it just eats her up inside. But it starts at home. If you did not have a confident mother, then you will not raise confident children.
Y'all, I am gagged. Because what was all this for? That's the thing that's running through my head, right? What is this all for? And then she came out right at the end and said it. Her intentions came out right at the end, right? It's because she wants to humble her. She saw Nina Simone and she said, oh, you feel insecure about your 4C hair despite being light skinned, right? Having 4C hair while being light skinned, right? Well, I have looser hair and I'm browner than you. I'm browner than you. And you notice how she said brown instead of like, she said brown instead of light skin, right? Even though she's like, to me at least, she's technically light skin, just like a more not high yellow. Why does everybody assume that light skin is like this high yellow? It's weird. It's weird, right? And her intentions came out. She said, yeah, I'm gonna use this because, my sister, I think she believes that her sister is prettier than her. Yeah, I do. I do. I think she believes that her sister, to an extent, has more privilege than her, right? And lighter skinned women in general than her, women lighter than her, right? Have more privilege and things like that. So she has to. When she sees an insecure light skinned woman, right? She just relishes in it. She loves it. She had to attack Nina Simone. She just had to. She could not stand to see Nina Simone coming on here and in her eyes complaining about, having 4C hair, even though, she has the privilege of being light skinned, right? And all that entails. It's like, it's weird. It's scary. It's scary. Yeah. And the title of my video being My Sister is More Exotic Than You, right? Is because that's literally what this woman's narrative is. Her whole point was, oh, my sister's more exotic and she's confident and you have a terrible mom. you know it's just so weird to a stranger no less. Like, and yeah, I was watching this, right, and I said, oh, this is so sweet that she's talking about her sister. I didn't pick it up yet because it was pretty nice at first, right? And then she made that random ass dig, and then she just kept going, and it was like, it just feels like very inappropriate, right? It feels very inappropriate. It feels very mixy, very messy. And saying that Nina must be threatened by her, that's very like intense language. you know, that is eating her up inside, you know, like she hates to see. No, she doesn't know you. Nina doesn't know you. You're a stranger, ma'am. Please. Like, and then saying that, oh, you know, if you don't raise, you know, confident children, if you're not confident, you won't raise confident children. Well, clearly you're the example, because obviously you're not very confident, because having to put somebody else down, a stranger as well, on the internet, it just shows me that you're not confident. Your mother did not raise you to be confident. You looked at yourself and your sister and said, oh, she's prettier than me, right? So now I have low self-esteem. And now the women who are lighter than me, right, who I perceive as being better, because if she's this like blatant about her texturism, I wonder, you know, is she also colorist? You know, I don't like to call people that, but like, it's you know, it's something there, right? But I guess they won't call her a texturist or a colorist, right? Because she's, I don't know, she's hating on the lighter skinned woman more, you know, with the unambiguous woman who like hate Nina for some reason, right? So how dare she feel insecure and also have privilege? And like the whole leveraging your literal little sister, right? She's 18. She's 18. Like, why would you do that? Weird. To humble this woman is even weirder. Like, it made me realize that y'all do this a lot. Like, I would never do this to my little sister, right? And me and this woman actually, right? We look pretty alike. Like, we're like, I wouldn't say she looks exactly like me, right? But I feel like she could be my cousin. Like we're along the same lines and things like that, right? She looks literally nearly exactly like slightly darker version of like my cousin, right? And like y'all do this way too much, and it's really creepy. Where you like leverage your sister or your auntie or specifically children, right? And I get that, oh, she's 18, she's not a child, but in my eyes, 18 is still you're 1 year after being a teenager, which is a child. So yeah, it's weird. Y'all will literally do this where you're bringing up people's babies and, oh, you know, my friend's mixed baby is lighter than you, so you're not light skinned. And it's weird. It's really weird, right? I would never, never think to leverage my little sister and basically try and fetishize her, which is what you're doing, right? Um, to humble someone to for a point, to like soothe this thing of my like trauma, right? Of seeing women who are lighter than me or more exotic than me and things like that, right? And to just weaponize your hair texture in this way, you know, I don't like to be dramatic, right? I hate when the crybaby corner talks about how you know think there were light skinned women are like leveraging their skin, you know, to oppress girl. Like this is what I mean. That video that I made about right, dark skin, exotical flight, and don't fall for the bait, right? Please watch if you haven't already, right? This is what I mean when I say that some of y'all have not done the work and are actually attacking fellow exoticals because you feel like they're more exotic than you, privileged than you. And so honestly, like it's not even that anymore. It's just solely because they have light skin. Just you just see them and you're just like, oh yeah, hate her. Like it's weird. Like random light skinned women are not your high yellow light skinned bully from middle school. It's quite literally. Like you need to grow up. You need to grow up, right? And of course, this happens in reverse. Of course, I don't need to say not all and all of that stuff, right? Most recently, with that geriatric baby mama, right? Golden grandma. Hey, grandma. Let's see if your YouTube channel is still up and all the little burner ones. I see you created another one. All right. Let's see how long you last. I'm sorry, y'all. I would have, I would have cussed her out more, but I understand she's mentally stuck in middle school and is protective over who is and who isn't the ultimate exotical. Because she's probably like traumatized from darker skin, unambiguous women not liking her, which I empathize with. That's sad, right? Always will. And I do think she's pretty. And I was like, why is she doing this? Like, girl, do you not have things to do? No? Okay. Yeah. But it's like, I don't understand. Back to the crazy lady, the texturist, right? It's weird that she would not empathize with Nina, right? Like you see how like she empathized with her sister about being told to take out her contacts and stuff, ignorant stuff like that, right? But you can understand why Nina would feel weird. And it's this thing of assuming that your experience is everybody else's, and if you don't have the same experience, right? Just very ignorant and like just such a boxed in mindset type of thing. So weird, And like, why would you not empathize with her? And that's the thing. Because again, it's so sad, but it's really like she just saw that Nina is very light skinned and was like, no, I can't empathize with her. How dare she? And so the way, the tone of it, the weirdness, the comparison between her and her sister and Nina as well, it's just, it gives such fetish vibes, it gives such weirdo vibes. Um, yeah. And honestly, if I'm being so serious, right? I don't want to be dramatic. I really don't. But I can't help it. I can't help it, right? I am scared for her sister. What happens when she deems her sister like too confident or she gets more attention, right? Than she wants her sister to receive, right? Like right now, she's displaying her sister and stuff like that, right? But what happens when like her business progresses, or is it acceptable and she isn't that mad about it because at least it's contributing to empowering Black women and Black hair and things like that. But like, what happens when she disagrees with her or her sister does something that isn't considered humble enough or grateful enough? Like she's just very like preachy and weird, and like she reminds me of this like Hebrew girl, right, that I used to be friends with. And yeah, there it's this weird like preachy thing that you have to hate on everyone, but at the same time fake that you love everyone and you're so confident and you're so good and you were raised so right, yet you're literally mentally ill. Because what sane person would try and bash a woman who's younger than you, right? First of all. And you leverage your little, again, leveraging your little sister who is closer to being underage than an adult, you know? And doing this whole thing where you're trying to humble people is just weird. Like, you cannot tell me she does not have some type of mental illness. I'm not convinced, right? And yeah, so that's it for this video. I'll probably like upload again. Thank you. Yeah. I hope you like this video. It was supposed to be quick, but of course it's not. It's gonna take forever to upload. Oh my god. Yeah. And love you guys so much. So excited to make more content and interact with you more. Yeah. Please like, please comment, please share. Hope y'all are having like a good day and all of that. Love y'all. Bye. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Out of pocket for that shit. way out of pocket. What do you gain from that?